Hey, what's up, guys? It's Yus here, and today I just want to go through a couple predictions I have for chapter 139 of Attack on Titan as the manga closes in just over a month. So let's get right into it. Before I even get into it, there's a big spoilers for the latest chapter of Attack on Titan, which is chapter 139, and for the anime, which is currently on episode 14 of season 4. As the anime wraps up the first part of season 4 in just over 2 episodes, and the manga is about to be done in just over a month, so one more chapter remaining, I wanted to look at the season 2 ending to create a prediction I have in regards to chapter 139, where I actually think that EREN could be still alive, even though he was quote-unquote killed by Mikasa at the end of the chapter. I really wanted to make this video as I felt like the insane foreshadowing Isayama planted in that ending has to be appreciated more. I really want to explain it because I thought I saw certain things that maybe other people didn't see, and I want to share my opinion on them. Also, big shout out to this guy in the comments. He gave me the ideas to exactly what I'm going to do in this video, kind of inspired it, so just you can check it out and read it real quick. The season 2 ending came out over 3 years ago, and yet it still holds relevance in today's manga chapters. And it just goes to show the genius that Isayama is in terms of his story writing for this incredible story of Attack on Titan. In the end of the recent chapter, we see Mikasa actually killing Eren, supposedly, where she absolutely claps him by cutting his neck off. But at the same time, she gives a kiss goodbye to him, which I thought was kind of creepy. But besides that, there's one interesting change that I found was kind of weird between the leak and the manga. In the leak, Ymir says, "To the boy he saw freedom, goodbye." And this was from a Korean translation that they translated to English. But for some reason, in the actual official release, for some reason this wasn't added and it was completely skipped by. Which really doesn't make sense, which begs the question to what if Isayama is setting up for a twist where Eren lives? Using the season 2 ending, I think I could actually potentially show how I think he will win at the end of it and he'll survive, because I believe that the ending essentially spoils the end of the series. The thing that leads me to believe that Eren is alive is that this distorted image at the end of the ending, where it looks like if there's a man and a woman, and there's a man holding a baby, and there's a woman standing right next to him. I think this is Eren reaching Historia through somehow surviving what Mikasa did to him, using the Warhammer Titan's ability. The reason I think this is Eren is due to the long black hair the man has, and the brown coat he's wearing, we saw Eren wear in earlier chapters. And you need to remember that Historia's child being born already is completely plausible. As we see in chapter 134, she's going through some kind of pain due to the pregnancy, so we can assume that the baby is soon to be born. Now that you kind of get why I think Eren may be alive and where I'm coming from, let's get into what I think will happen once Eren actually reaches Historia and starts the rumbling again. Now, first things first, I think that Eren will somehow convince Historia to go through with his plan, even though she was reluctant on actually going through with it before. Once Eren manages to convince her, I think the rumbling will continue after 138 going to 139, and it'll eventually crush the whole world and kill every Eldian that was in Rebelio and the people of Paradis who were trying to defend it. And you can clearly see something foreshadowed that's similar to this in the endings of season 2 at second 52. Through analyzing this scene, I theorized that in the past, Ymir will rebuild every Eldian that was killed during the rumbling, just like how she did for Zeke in the earlier chapters after Levi blew him up. Now the rumbling is complete, and all the Eldians go towards Paradis Island, as that's the only refuge left over after the earth is flattened due to the rumbling that Eren started. As you can see in the season 2 ending, it depicts something like this happening clearly, where you see all these people walking towards some kind of sunlight. One thing to remember is that all the people being resurrected are people who have initially died from the rumbling. So anyone before that who you wanted to survive, too bad, because I don't think in this theory that anyone else will survive besides the people who died during the rumbling. On the bright side, at least we can see John and Coney actually survive and, not die the way they did. Now to get to the crazy part of the prediction, in the recent chapter we see the Hallucigania somehow survive the explosion after Armin turns into the Colossal Titan. I realize that a lot of you probably don't know what that is, so it's basically that worm creature we see in the last 2 chapters. Now we know that the Hallucigania is what initially gave Ymir her powers, so basically it is what started the Eldian race and its powers. We also see this weird worm creature attached to Eren after he is shot by Gabby, so it does show that every founder seems to have the creature inside them. Knowing this, we can kind of assume that this also applies to the Curse of the Ymir, which is the 13-year-long lifespan that Titan shifters have for each of them, and also the ability of each Eldian to turn into a mindless Titan if they have any spinal fluid put into them from a shifter. And as much as this worm thing is part of the theory, I can honestly be honest about how this thing is really just a plot convenience for Isayama so far. Unless he actually chooses to explain it in 139, it's probably one of the biggest things I really don't like about the story right now. Despite the worm creature being a plot convenience for the story, I think it will play well into my theory, as I think it will be trampled and killed when Eren restarts the rumbling once it reaches Historia. After this worm creature is killed, like I said before, it is attached to the Ymir's curse and all the aliens being able to turn into Titans. So once this worm is killed, I believe that every Titan shifter will lose their power and no Eldian will be able to turn into a Titan anymore, and they'll just be normal people like everyone else. So basically, Eren winning will result in the quote-unquote Ymir's curse on the Eldian people being lifted, and they can live happily after in that sense. But the result of this is that every other nation and race will perish besides the Eldians due to the rumbling still being enacted as this good thing is happening. And all of this basically makes sense because we know that the worm creature is really what started the power of the Titans as it attached them to Ymir, and she gained the power of the 9 Titans as well as the Founder Titan. As much as I can make up stuff on the spot about why I think this, I actually have a nice explanation that I found in the season 2 ending that really links to this, that will explain it better for you guys to understand why I came up with this outlandish theory. If we go near the end of the season 2 ending, we can see an illustration of Ymir and the 9 Titans bowing down to her. I think this illustration shows the Ymir's curse as all the 9 Titans are bound before her as if she was a goddess or god that they had to abide to. So I think this really just represents the Ymir's 13-year curse on each of the 9 Titans. Now notice the big X over Ymir's face. I think this represents the foreshadowing of the abolishment of the Ymir's curse like I predicted early on in the video. And I ain't gonna lie, once I saw this, I was putting my dead belief into this theory because after seeing that, I truly believe that this is completely plausible and the season 2 ending truly predicted it. And to further prove my point, I'm gonna go back to that picture of Eren holding that baby, as the same big X is there, which represents Ymir's curse ending as soon as he makes contact with a royal-blooded person to start the rumbling once again, which in turn kills the worm like I stated before. And also I think in this scene he's telling the baby that he is free now and all his friends are free now at the end of the day because he managed to stop the Ymir's curse and the endless cycle of hatred that in the world. This also took the burden off the child's shoulders of only living 13 years because it potentially could have gotten Zeke's Beast Titan as he was killed by Levi in the last chapter. One big thing to note is that in one of the previous chapters when they were going through Grisha's memories, Grisha tells Zeke that it won't go his way and that it'll go Eren's way no matter what. And we know that Grisha is probably right here because he could see the future as well with his attack titan. I know some of y'all probably don't believe in the credibility of the season 2 ending and how it's predicted things in the past, so I just want to show you guys real quick each of the things that's predicted that I have noticed. Now y'all might think this one's a stretch, but this I found on my own in the season 2 ending in a very quick frame, and it basically looks like Eren's founding titan form if you look closely on the top right. I'll zoom into it, and it actually looks like it's formed because you see the arched back, and you can have the long hair, and it's kind of crazy how similar it looks, and I honestly think that was foreshadowing his actual titan form in a really quick frame. Another way that Eren could survive that I noticed while editing this video was that if you remember back in season 3, when Reiner took severe damage to the neck from Levi, he somehow survived by sending his conscience to his spine, which Eren could have easily done in this case, as Mikasa only cut off his neck so he could have sent his conscience before he died. That's just a little thing I thought I'd know because I feel like it could be a significant way that Eren manages to survive. And I just want to mention this real quick before ending the theory. And I think that's going to wrap it up for me, bro. I just think Eren's going to come out on top. and he gonna be the overall victor at the end of the day. I just really want to make this video because Attack on Titan is ending one more chapter, and that shit is crazy to me, and I absolutely love this show. Depending on how it ends, it's probably gonna be my favorite show of all time, or favorite anime or manga of all time, because this show is just amazing. It's honestly a masterpiece, and I had to make a theory about it because I just honestly think the foreshadowing in this series is what makes it so great in so many aspects. Because like so much of the shit that's already happened, has happened now, it has been foreshadowed earlier, which is just crazy. Like, bro, the level of thinking Isayama had in while making the story, he always had the ending planned out, which I fucking love. Anyways, I think that's it for me, guys. This is like my first official video of actually, on my channel, and I just hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys can show the support by dropping a like and dropping a comment on your prediction on Attack on Titan chapter 139, what you think is gonna happen. Just let me know. I'm probably gonna go through all the comments because it's probably not gonna be that many. But shout out to anyone who subscribes, and thanks for watching.